March 13th and 14th is the Virgo Lunar Eclipse at 23 degrees 57 minutes of Virgo. This is the first of 4 Virgo eclipses that we will have into February 2027. So over the next 2 years, 4 Virgo eclipses will be revealing to us how we are adjusting to these world changes and transitions by checking in on our physical selves, our mental selves, how we are processing, how we are feeling and sensing the energies, also how we are grounding into the new earth energies as they open up and present themselves. Now, this particular Virgo lunar eclipse has the moon in Virgo conjunct the south node at 27 degrees of Virgo. This is showing us what is no longer working, what is no longer bringing about results. You could feel emotionally stuck. You could feel like you're searching for a new development, an improvement, something that will support you and bring about those results and next steps that are actually in better alignment with the higher frequencies. So with the moon conjunct the south node so closely, there is a sense here of being real with ourselves, being very bare-boned honest about what's not working for you, what isn't serving you, what is too dense and weighing down your energy. This could also bring up where you have a fear of change. You don't want to let something go. You haven't been ready to shift and align into a new experience or a new habit. This could show you where parts of your energy are holding you back from that next desired outcome. It could also reveal if you've been lacking trust in a much bigger process. That moon in Virgo conjunct the south node will focus in on the minutia, the details, the specifics, but then lose track of the bigger picture of what really matters in the long term. There could also be mental anxiety here, where you're spinning and spinning to try to figure it out. What do I need to change? What's the next solution? What is the next step? And the overthinking can be strong. But on the opposite side of the astrological wheel, we find a strong lineup of planets in Pisces. The sun in Pisces is conjunct Saturn at 22 degrees of Pisces. The North Node is at 27 degrees of Pisces, and Neptune is at 29 degrees of Pisces. So we have a lineup of 4 planets and points in Pisces that are telling us that the answers come when we least expect it. The answers arrive when you let go of the need to have it perfect. The energy here is wanting you to move forward by releasing your grip on what you're trying to micromanage, over-organize, control, maintain. And the energy of Saturn conjunct the sun is significant because Saturn is then opposing the moon. And so there could be a real dip in the emotional expression, the sense of being hard on yourself because you don't know what to do next. You don't know the answers, the plan, or what to do. Virgo is how we do our energy regularly. It's how we do life. It's how we take care of what's in front of us. We get it done. We move it through. We understand the priorities. We have a way of tackling our responsibilities. But this is showing you that your daily life is probably needing a change. It needs to be switched up. There's something here that's become too mundane, too worn out, and it's time to bring in something fresh that is a better fit for your well-being and is going to lift you up emotionally. Saturn opposing the moon can feel like you're blocked, emotionally blocked, depressed, disappointed, overwhelmed, feeling stagnant. And yet the eclipse energy of it all is meant to shake it up, is meant for you to see it differently and to not overly personalize what's happening in your world, because it's part of a bigger cycle of change and transition on the planet. Now, thankfully, that moon in Virgo has support through a trine from Uranus in Taurus. And that trine is bringing in something out of the blue that's probably going to be a great solution and a great possibility. Uranus in Taurus is supporting the moon through this transition of change, elevating what can happen that you didn't see before. If you were overly focused on one particular detail or path, and if you were like, this is the way to go, this is how to get there. Virgo is the hows. How am I going to solve this? How will this work? How will this play out? Here comes Uranus with that trine that is surprising and is an unexpected breakthrough, especially because Uranus is also sextiling the Sun in Pisces and sextiling Saturn in Pisces. So Uranus is saying there's new solutions here. There is something that will wildly appear. It will perhaps move you quickly out of the heaviness, the burden, the mental anguish, and show you a new option or a few options, as well as the resources and the practical approach. So the breakthrough energy here that's arriving from this Uranus and Taurus is what's going to really assist that Virgo need to have a plan. Otherwise, there could be a paralyzation of, I can't do anything until I know what it's going to be, how it's going to play out, what it's going to look like. And the earth signs need to know, what's it going to look like? I need the evidence. I need the documentation. Show me what this will be. And yet we have all of these planets in Pisces saying, you're not going to know. You're not going to know, but take steps forward anyways. You're not going to have all the answers, but move forward and go with the changes as they happen. And part of the bigger growth here for the moon in Virgo experiencing this eclipse is that it can be messy and uncertain, and yet you can still trust the process as it unfolds and know that what you need will present itself in due time. Now, this energy in Virgo, it shakes up our daily life. And there's going to be changes here of what's leaving and what's completing. It's interesting too, because when I look at this particular eclipse, both the Virgo and Pisces areas of your chart are experiencing these transitions and endings. That's because Virgo is where that south node is moving through, revealing what you're outgrowing, what has served its purpose, where you have fulfilled your obligations, even karma, where you have played through something You've taken care of it, and now you are free to go. And so that South Node in Virgo is showing you what needs to be up-leveled and changed. And with this Virgo moon working with the South Node, there's a sense of, is it okay? Maybe I haven't done enough. Maybe it could be better. Should I go back and try again? Should I stay in place because people are counting on me? People need me. And so the Virgo energy is learning that it is needed to move forward, even if it's not all neat and tidy and finished, and there isn't, you can't wrap a bow around it just yet, but it's time to move on. It's time for the next endeavor. And then the second part of the chart that's about endings is Pisces. And here we have a stellium of planets and points in Pisces, also signifying endings and completions. And so there are essentially two parts of the chart here that are revealing to you what it's time to move away from and transition into a new reality in the new energies, in the higher energies. But the Virgo energy is going to feel like it's not perfect. I could do more. And the Pisces energy, the strong Pisces influence, is wondering, well, when is it going to appear? Because everything is changing and it could feel like you're in the void. There's nothingness. There's a sense of, I only see endings. I don't see beginnings just yet. And this is where we have a lot of confusion. And we have to take care of our energies. We have to calm it down. We have to make sure that we are listening to our bodies, our nervous system, where our minds are going and what those fears are that are coming up. We have to also stay in tune with our emotional self and our emotional messages. So this Virgo lunar eclipse is where you're being set free because you have completed a chapter here. It's where big changes occurring for you. In September, we're going to have our second Virgo eclipse. It will be at 29 degrees of Virgo. So we're having these eclipses here that show us what you are fulfilling and done with, and to move forward without the guilt, without the worry, without the sense of, I have to do more. And when we are honoring this for ourselves, we are also tuning into more of our deeply embedded wisdom that allows us to trust our next steps, to trust that you gave it your best, you gave it your all, and that the universe is moving you forward into the next round of energies, experiences, skills. That could be the next job, the next area of development, the next habit or routine that supports you. This certainly relates to health and well-being and how our bodies are adjusting to these new frequencies, how our bodies are managing the big changes on the planet. So this would be a beautiful time to check in. How am I physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually handling the big changes on the planet? And what do I need to do to take better care of myself, to relax into trust, to know that I'm connected to a bigger cycle and that it's okay if I don't have all the details or specifics just yet. So there's a lot going on here, and this particular Virgo lunar eclipse is where you're ready for that next level, wherever you have 24 degrees of Virgo in your chart. So 24 degrees by house placement is where these changes are occurring for you. It could be the second house, the seventh house, the 11th house, That's where the eclipse energies come through. They instigate a timeline change of a new direction and the endings that need to occur in order for that new to present itself. And it probably will present itself rather quickly, because after this lunar eclipse, we go to the Aries solar eclipse on March 29th. And that's an Aries solar eclipse of new beginnings. And then right afterwards, Neptune enters Aries on March 30th. The new beginnings are very close. So you want to feel that you're grounded, healthy, strong, clear, in your present state of power, so that you can meet those new beginnings as they arrive. And it feels too like you probably already are aware of what is needing to change in your reality, even if you've been pushing it away. So I hope this gives you some helpful insights about this Virgo lunar eclipse, and also gives you a heads up on listening to the messages of your body. If you want more specifics on these energies, do check out my Nodes of Fate course that talks about the North Node in Pisces and the South Node in Virgo even more, because it goes into more of the specifics of what is changing and clearing out through that South Node in Virgo, including jobs. Things that you've done and you've perfected, or you've managed to develop a really keen skill set. That's going to be ending or clearing out, and you're meant to move on to that next area of growth and development. These eclipses are also going to be big for those of you who were born in the 1960s and you have Uranus and Pluto in Virgo. These are bigger eclipses for you, and I talk about that more in the Nodes of Fate course as well. So thank you for joining me. I hope this has been helpful information, and I'll be back soon as we continue to roll through the big astrology here of 2025.